Please welcome to the stage as loud as you can. Riley Voelkel. Danielle Rose Russell.
Happy day 3, everyone. How's everyone doing? Who's ready for a bath and bed?
Yes. You guys really stuck it out to the end. Thank you.
I'm fresh. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Let's keep this party going.
You are fresh. That's right. Who's been all 3 days with me? Bath and bed.
Who came from really, really far away to be here? Thank you. I'm going to start getting you guys lined up in the middle early because it's the last one and I need you to do my job for me. And while they do that, I asked the boys this question this morning, so it's your turn. I feel like we are so lucky to come out here all the time and get to hear about how this show changed and saved people's lives. Is there a piece of art, a film, a show, an album that you feel like that one changed my life, like shifted your perspective somehow?
Question.
I'm on the spot. It's hard. That's hard.
I should really send them their questions in advance.
So really, you ask the best questions, and it's such a good one. That changed. I mean, you guys kind of know. I'll probably say something like Taylor Swift changed my life. She did. She definitely did. But that's not my immediate answer because I feel like someone else did before her, and I'm for some reason blanking. So I'm going to think about that 1 second.
Back in my day, there was a very popular artist named Fiona Apple, and that changed my life. And she continues every album she puts out. That
music video, like I remember being like, what's happening?
She's so cool. I was like, I just want to be her. It didn't end, but she, she's a complex person, though. It does turn out.
Danielle just gave me, please don't call on me, teacher.
I have a good answer. It's only just sweeter answers. Otherwise, they're kind of just bullshit. I don't really need them. You know what I mean? You don't want me to lie.
I do know what you mean.
We're gonna come back to this question at the end.
It's such a good one.
I'm not letting them leave until they.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to think of like, I feel like there was definitely a show. You know what show, and not in any major way changed my life, but for some reason it's just like a part of me, is My So-Called Life, which was it was like the storylines and everything in that show. I feel like were kind of like weren't happening.
It was a really real show.
Yeah.
And then there was Jared Leto leading.
Jared Leto's first crush. Yes. Yeah, that one I remember just seeing like real stories and really appreciating that and kind of loving that.
Julie Pleck's company is called My So-Called
It
Company
is.
after that show. So
I didn't know it was officially
it had
after
a ripple
that.
effect.
Yes, it sure did. It sure did. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Again, I know I told you this morning that you look very chic, but you still look chic, which is impressive because it's been a long day.
It has been a long day, and I'm very thankful again that I have the ability to, speak to you and see you in person. So my question is, usually when the directors pick the actors or actresses, sometimes they pick them because they fit in within the character that they have in the script. Like, for example, if they know that they have the characteristics of that character, like they get angry easier, or they're too sensitive, they pick them. Like it's an easy target. This one is sensitive. This one is good for the sensitive character that I have.
Yes.
How does that happen? Like in real life, like you guys have more experience, right? Like acting and being with the directors and being on the set. How does the process go in your case?
Well, I get cast as witches and strippers, so I don't know what that says about me. It's a really cool process. You did.
A figure of authority.
And I feel like Cameron was a lot me in Roswell. She was a lot me, and so that was really, really fun. And the process is interesting because I think inevitably you do always bring an element of yourself to the character, even if the character is really, really different than you. And then it's, especially in television, when you get lucky enough to have more than one season, it just kind of evolves and grows with you, and you find like nuances about the character, different things that pop up. But some cases, when you're really lucky to work with amazing people that bring you back, they'll sometimes write a character for you, you know, or you in mind, I guess. They'll have you in mind. So sometimes that really does happen, and other times you're really, you know, just trying to convince the casting team that you are that character, even if you're really different from that. I hope that makes sense.
I wasn't part of the casting for Leah because I came on the show post the pilot, but I was there for casting Riley and Danielle, and we don't know them when we're we just see tapes and maybe get in the room with them a couple of times. We don't know like the ins and outs, but you do find things. I mean, I feel like, I won't talk about personal things, but like my very first scenes with Danielle, we ended up talking about like personal life offspring, things that you could relate to about these characters, and like you realize they have the ability to tap something that's real. And sometimes that means you're writing things that's just like, hey, can you push on this bruise you have to access this space? But like you figure out what somebody's really good at.
I want to hear.
Forgive you.
You know, I feel like what you got to say is probably way worse. Well, okay, so I recently, some people that I worked with 4 years ago, they wrote a movie called Sorority Row that I did years and years ago. And they said they were like, we wrote a role for you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so flattered. And I read the script. And it's a woman who finds true and real joy in murdering people in creative ways. And I was like, I'm not sure this is a compliment, but I would love to play this character.
I'll share my wonder story where I got cast Wonder. Yes. I tend to be a very passionate person when it comes to the characters or the material that I really love, and like Wonder was one of those things. I had read the book years prior, and I was like, I don't care who I am, I just want to be a part of it. And the director did not give me the time of day. He did not, and I sent in tape after tape after tape, and I was like, please, I know I can be really good in this. And at first it was like a small indie film, nobody was attached to it, and then 2 years later it came back, like Lionsgate was behind it, Julia Roberts, like huge people, and I had to fight my way tooth and nail, and I did like so many different roles for it, and I booked it, and I remember I booked it, and I just like got on my knees and I cried, and I was like, yeah, it was, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's just like, I don't know, you fit into a character really well, and you just really do things that are the same, other times it's luck.
I went back recently and saw the emails that were going back and forth about Danielle. We saw your tape, and the email that came in from Julie was, okay, so it's obviously you. And then it was just like, how do we make this happen? And then with Riley, we had seen so many Freyas.
Is that true?
Yeah, we had actually, way before we saw you, there was somebody else that had the role. I know, really different. This is true. I forgot too. Really different from you. Her name is Ksenia Solo, and she had done like a bunch of sci-fi things, and then the scheduling didn't work. And then when your tape,
Thank God.
For me too. And then when your tape came, like we were exhausted. We were worried, and this was obviously a very big character, and we were starting to have conversations like, okay, maybe this is just Cole's date to this party, and we find our Freya later. And then your tape came through, and I think it was an RPG who was like, Riley or no one. And it was like the whole email chain. I literally saw it this weekend. It was like, yeah, Riley.
That's really sweet to hear. We don't often get the opportunity to hear what's going on behind closed doors with casting. In fact,
And I wouldn't have shared it with you then.
Oh no,
We're
of
old
course
now.
not. No, of course not. No, but I'm saying I so appreciate hearing that because we don't often get to hear at all what people think about our performance or anything like that. And so that's really cool to hear. I really love that. And I will say the characters also always, as much as like we become like, they're always a part of me after I've played them. Like Freya will always be a part of me in my real life now too, as well, which is cool.
Cast a lot of spells.
I do. I try really hard to break it.
It's really awkward at parties. Thank you.
It's a great question.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I love you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love all of you, and
She's the best one.
No, she's not. She's the best one.
No, we all agree. We all agree.
Yeah.
Good. So, thank you for your answers. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
I've just been saying it all weekend. I've said it on every single one of my panels, but I just want to really drive home the gratitude I and the rest of us feel for just you continuing to show up day after day for us. And like, it's just so beautiful that so many years later, so many of you are still here in the cold. It's like,
These were like,
yes, it's amazing.
Vampire Diaries was like a huge thing, but like the originals and legacies, we were like the little show that could. And every year we didn't know if we were gonna get canceled, and like, you know, our budgets were low, and we were scrapping kids trying to make this thing, and like, we never thought this was gonna still be happening all this time here. So we really appreciate it.
We love you guys. We love you so much.
My name's Festive, and I was wondering for all four of you very beautiful, lovely ladies, if you could be any like Disney movie, what movie would you want to be in?
If we could be in a Disney movie. Okay, so my favorite Disney princess is Jasmine. It's my favorite. I actually just saw Aladdin on Broadway like a few weeks ago because I love Aladdin. So I'm gonna have to.
Mine's Little Mermaid. That was always my favorite.
They're all so good, and I have such like a place in my heart for all of them. Weirdly enough, I'm gonna go with The Lion King, and I'm gonna be Nala. Yeah, I loved Nala.
Is this Disney princess?
No, you could be anybody.
Like,
Jafar.
if they were to do a live action Toy Story, I would want to play Jessie real bad.
Thank you.
Who would you be?
I really like the movie Cinderella. It's just it was that old movie my mom would always watch.
You'd be a perfect Cinderella.
Yeah, you really would. And your hair is giving Cinderella as well. Hey girls. So, each of your characters struggles with their own moral dilemmas. Camille balancing her humanity with the supernatural, Freya navigating her powerful but sometimes dangerous abilities, and Hope grappling with her dark legacy. So the question is, how did you approach playing characters who are constantly being torn between light and dark?
Well said.
Very well said. This might be a strange answer, but I kind of feel like that's life in real life a little bit, you know? And like, while what they were going through was different in the sense of all of the murder and magic and all of that, it was very relatable still. Like, all the characters are very relatable. I felt like, and the storylines were very relatable to real life or real family dynamics or real issues. And so I think in some ways I found it, I tried my hardest to relate to what she was going through, even though it wasn't the same. But you know, heartbreak or like fighting for something, even maybe to your own demise or for too long, or not putting yourself first, or whatever that is. Again, though, I really wish I did have the magic. I do. I don't have that, but I found myself able to like kind of just relate to her in a lot of ways, naturally, like in real life.
Yeah, that.
Exactly what she said. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name's Lexi.
Love the merch.
Thank you. What character do you wish you got more screen time with?
Definitely did not work together very often.
But we had like a few scenes, but we never really interacted. I feel like there could have been a friendship. Hey, writers, there was a friendship there.
Better understood each other.
I think in general, the originals did not pass the Bechdel test ever, and I would have loved to put women in scenes with women
Yes,
more. We
more
never did.
women. More women. Because it's all about the girls. You guys know I say that all the time. The boys are okay, they're pretty to look at, whatever, that's it. The girls are where it's at in all those shows, you know, all of them. But yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice.
been able to like unpack quite a few things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Freya definitely needed some therapy.
She needed so much therapy, and she needed some girls. Thank God Keelan was so patient with her. God.
Who would you
I
have
don't know
wanted?
if Camille did them so well as a
Tell me the
sibling.
Who would you have wanted?
I would have liked to see Hope and David together.
Ooh.
Ooh, I didn't know we got to mix up the shows.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I like how your brain works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Cody, and I just want to say you guys all looked fabulous on the show and obviously in real life. And I know you didn't get to choose your wardrobe, but I was wondering what your character's favorite store would have been, or what you guys' favorite stores would have been.
Freya's would have been for sure All Saints, maybe a little bit of Hot Topic, which I also personally loved growing up, but definitely All Saints, which happens to also be one of my favorite stores. And I stole a lot of Freya's clothes, so I still have a lot of her leather jackets. I wasn't supposed to. I did.
My answer was also going to be All Saints. Is Hope's favorite store. And I know this because that was most of her wardrobe is All Saints.
I was gonna say, we should
And I
have been
also-
sponsored by All Saints.
And I also stole a lot of leather jackets I should not have as well. Also one of my favorite stores. I like Aritzia. I'm a Aritzia fan too.
I feel like Cammy kind of kept it basic, probably Uniqlo. You know, she probably would have been like, this works. You know, she probably would have gotten jeans at Madewell. You know,
Is Madewell not cool? I love Madewell.
no, it is. But Cammy had like a preppy.
Okay.
She was like, yeah, she was.
I didn't know
like,
what
she
that
kept it
was.
basic, and she wasn't thinking about the fashion as much.
But just
She was
good
trying to
basics.
stay alive.
Yeah.
And she was just trying to stay alive and get a degree.
We all.
No, I wasn't saying she didn't dress cool, but you were saying like she wouldn't have really, you know. But I love Madewell.
Yeah, that's not.
Hey, sorry. Misunderstood. Sorry. Love it.
I don't know
Right.
fashion as well as I am. These girls probably.
That's not true. That is not true.
I shop
Absolutely.
at a lot of like vintage, like thrift
Which
stores.
is very cool.
It's a hit or a miss.
Whatever.
Just like asking for a friend, so thank you guys. She's like, okay, like,
Didn't meet all that.
I'm sorry, I actually didn't think I could make it up here. But my question's kind of directed at Danielle. I know you hate being called on, but I really love you, and your
Do your
character
job,
really
Danielle.
sat with me emotionally. Almost everything about your character was my life. You know, my dad, anxiety, just everything. And I just wanted to know if there's ever a scene that you had filmed, and honestly, any of y'all filmed that really sat with you emotionally that said, I needed a minute.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So many of them, a lot of the familial dynamics, I mean, not exactly, but a lot of the familial dynamics, I think Carina and I share a lot of the same. And just throughout that whole season, I definitely it's really therapeutic for me. But yeah, like Riley said too, you find so much of yourself in characters. It's hard not to find some similarities.
What about you? Us too? Okay, sure. I talk. There's definitely been several, actually, in my career. On originals, I specifically remember going through a really bad breakup and coming to set, and I happened to be shooting the buried alive scene under the coffin, or in the coffin, where I'm like screaming and crying and scratching. My God, was that therapeutic. I did that scene and I was like, we need to make this a business. Where people can get into a coffin and they can just, how often do you get to scream as loud as you want? How often do you get to do that? It was very therapeutic. But anyway, Another scene, I had a few in Hightown that lingered, I will say. Like after shooting, I really put my soul in, so much so that it almost felt like it took over and went a little far. And then after, like, it was shaky and, you know, hard to like kind of shake off the feelings. But definitely put, you know, I think all of us try to put our heart and soul into certain scenes because of that reason. We've all had performances or certain things that have connected with us, shows, TV shows, that have made us feel not alone. And so to know that like someone else could have that feeling is really, I think, the importance of the whole reason we do it.
Thank you so once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
guys so much.
And I'm sorry that you were late.
Hi. So I guess my question is directed towards all four of you. If there was a brand new show you all could be in together, like to work on together, what would you like the idea to be?
Carina.
I have up my sleeve a really kick-ass cowgirl family drama that's set in the Old West. I would hire all these ladies. Hell yeah. Some scrappy, bitchy sisters. Yeah, it's fun. I'm not saying that's who you are in life. You're actresses. You know, taking back control from the patriarchy.
Fuck the patriarchy.
I want to do a comedy.
I don't do those.
I do too, actually.
Comedies are challenging. I'd argue comedy is the most challenging of all the genres. Yeah, comedy is challenging.
It'd be fun.
It would be, yeah. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Different skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either a comedy or a dark cowgirl show.
Or like a cool, like, edgy
Edgy.
lesbian drama where they're in a love triangle. My brain is going really fast.
I am
It's a comedy. You know?
It's a comedy.
Also,
It's a lesbian triangle comedy.
Right? We're pitching it now.
Thank you for the question. It's like, okay, this is the idea.
Thank you. And I also gotta say, I know, main part of the praise goes towards the guys in the show, Joseph, Danielle, Charles. Like,
Who?
but you guys killed it, and you all have a great sense of fashion. Just gotta appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Noah.
So do you. You're out here in the pockets.
I know, yeah. The whole weekend's long, by the way.
Thank you.
My name is Noah, and I know you guys worked with many different directors. And I'm just wondering if you ever found yourself responding to a certain type of direction or a style of director and something a director may have said.
I did a film with Cameron Crowe very early in my career, and I credit him for shaping the way that I work. He was so actor friendly and just, I don't know, articulated things in a way that really made sense. I was also at an impressionable age. I was 14 at the time, and his style has stuck with me. And it's just very emotionally friendly, very safe. He talks you through things. I feel like I really respond to just feeling very safe and secure on set. So, yeah, I credit him.
I think we've been really lucky. In television, you get to work with a different director almost every episode. And so we get to see, and I think we've all been very lucky to work with amazing directors across the board. I will say there was one I worked with a lot on Hightown named Eagleson. That's his real name. And Eagleson.
Oh, Eagle. I thought
Yes.
it was Eagle.
And that's what's funny is I don't think necessarily everyone maybe responded to his style, but I really did, which was really just direct. It was very direct and kind of like not confusing. Like he had a very clear vision, very much like, and knew exactly somehow what to say to me for me to like go, I got that. Actually, Carina's really good at that with me too. Like she knows exactly what to say to make me like understand in that moment. And I really appreciate that because before we go to set, we obviously prepare and we kind of have something in our head of like how we're going to be, what mental space we're going to be in. And sometimes like when I get over direction, that confuses me a little bit. I mean, I'm open to it, but I really love a direct director. I just really do.
I used to say when I would, like, you meet with directors like before they start, after you hire them, before they start, and you can give them kind of the download on all the actors in your cast. And I used to say, if you tell Bradley what you want and why you want it, she will give it to you.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's, I really
Just tell her why
that,
you
and
need
I
it
love
instead
that.
of like taking 8 years for like to let her find it, but she'll tell her what you want.
Yes, and I don't need it to be like sweet or nice or anything like that, just direct. And I will give it to you.
Nice to me.
I worked with a director once, and I would like do a scene and like give it my all, tears, and every time he'd go, okay, great, and then I'm like, great. And like next scene, okay, yep, I got it. And after 2 weeks, I was like, do you not like what I'm doing? And he's like, no, I love what you're doing. I just don't want to distract you. I'm like, no, I need praise. I need to be like, that was amazing. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm an actor, man. So I would say one of the things to keep in mind is actors are very insecure people who need a lot of praise. We're like children.
Okay, thank you.
Are you thinking about getting into directing? Was that part of your question?
Yes.
You look like a director. You're gonna kill it. One day,
That's a director's
we will
thing,
be
right?
working for you. Yes.
My name's Grace, and the question is for all of you. It's a pretty common question. Do you have any memorable bloopers from Legacies or Visuals?
My favorite one is as I was laying dead. Danielle Gillies kept doing this bit where the line was, she lived with Grace. And then he would go, and Grace is here with us, Grace. We're now just meeting Grace. And I was supposed to be dead, and I couldn't keep it together. I'm like, you have to stop doing that bit. I will laugh every time.
Man, he was so funny on set. He would make us laugh so hard. I mean, it made me a better actor because I was so like, had to not laugh. He was so funny. He's also very, very professional, but he's so, so funny. One of my favorite ones, which I think a lot of you guys know this story, but I learned the chants, and I actually learned them and memorized them. And some of the actors were really good at just improvising them, okay? I always learned them. One day, no, it wasn't.
Thank you, because I actually wrote them.
We did, yes. Yes, they really had meaning. But one day, it was a big scene, and it was a really difficult, like I had to scream this chant out like with all my might, okay? And I had a whole scene leading into it, so it was hard to memorize these like Latin words, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna improv it like some of the other actors are so good at doing. I'm just gonna improv it, and it's gonna be fine. And the scene comes, and I'm like getting into it, and I just yelled with all my might, Al Pacino. It did, and the director's like, okay, yeah, we can't say Al Pacino. And it's probably somewhere, but I never improved it again. Yes, it was like, Al Pacino. Yeah, and so sometimes I get bracelets that say Al Pacino, which is really funny and cute. Yes, yes, that was a good day.
I've heard of Al Pacino plus Grace's friend say Al Pacino.
I would have cried. I would have been like, it's okay.
It would have been over for the day, for sure. One of the funnier moments of my career, which is probably not going to be as funny explaining it now, we just had to be there. But we were working on the originals, and Jedediah, actually Good Anchor, who's here, we were sitting in the tent, and we were talking. He was goofing around as he does, and he was sitting. We were at the end of the chair, or at the end of the edges of the tent, and we were in these chairs, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, he fell backwards, and like in the flash of an eye, it was just like I just saw his legs up in the air, and then as I like doubled over laughing, the entire tent falls over again. And for some reason, and he was fine, but I literally was like crying with laughter. It was one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life, and I think till my deathbed, top 5 for sure.
That like happened on stage the other day. Oh, I saw a little bit of that. These things
Oh my
fell
gosh,
on,
Candace,
or
by the
almost
way.
fell on. Oh, you saw it.
The
Yeah.
mother lead, we're talking about the Candace one, right? Yeah, she like, I watched the video like maybe 5 times over. I was like, this is amazing.
That's amazing. She's like a superhuman.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She's like mom instincts.
Yeah.
Candace?
Listen, thank you for bringing this up because I want a chance to talk about this.
Okay, good.
This thing fell on us. There's this viral video now online. And not all, there's lots and lots of comments about what a superhero Candace is. And then there's just like a handful of like, that interviewer like was not impressed. And like, who's the Karen? Somebody's getting fired. I want to explain to you guys what I saw in the corner of my eye. I'm sitting next to Nina. Candace reaches over and shoves Nina down. I think, go. So I am terrified. And then I see the thing fall. So the face that you all see on that video is me going, Carina, calm down. Talking to myself. And also for the record, we're literally talking about Nina's like very severe ACL injury. Candace fell in the shower and has like a concussion and stitches on her face from the other day. We're fragile. I was scared. Everybody's fine. It weighs like a feather. We're okay. But yeah, stop making me to your comments. I was making a face and looked like a total bitch, but that's just my face.
For this shit.
Anyway, we do our own stunts.
I saw the video. No, you got involved. You were a little late.
I was first, I had to make the bitch face, and then I said,
Yes, right.
yeah, anyway.
I didn't see the bitch face. I just, you were slow on the uptake though. I was like,
I'm doing it.
I was like,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Taylor. It's so nice to see you again out there. And it's nice to meet you. My question's really simple. It's just what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
This is not a simple question. Do not say this is a simple
Do you
question.
know how big the repertoire
Yes,
is?
absolutely not. I have a million. It used to be for a very long time, 1989, Blank Space. Okay? Now, and then it was like 'Tis the Damn Season for a really long time, which at the Eras Tour she didn't play when we went. But it's okay. But she was playing it the whole time, wasn't she?
I saw it.
Yeah, you did. But anyway, right now you're gonna be surprised at my answer. I'm surprised at myself because I actually hated this song when it first came out. I shouldn't say hated, that's a strong word. I didn't like it. And now I love it, which is I can do it with a broken heart. I'm really into it. Yeah. Right now. It will change tomorrow, but right now that's it.
Mine is All Too Well, Taylor's version, 10-minute version, Sad Girl Autumn
Carina had the full answer. I love a lot of Taylor's old stuff. Like, I don't know. Love Story is such a favorite of mine. I don't know. I just love it. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Classic.
version. Leah's like, so back to Fiona Apple.
I like her songs. I do, and I like her so much. I do like her so much. I don't know any of her songs, and I am so sorry. And this is humiliating, and I'm embarrassed for myself.
Don't worry, guys. I've completed Trevino's education. He's now been to a concert with us, so I'll take on Leah as my next student.
I love her outfits. I love her dances. I respect her. I know, I'm like a Fiona.
It's okay. We got time. We got time.
Start with like vigilante shit or something like that.
I know.
A little Fiona, you know.
I'll create a curriculum.
Yeah.
I'm not a hater of Taylor Swift at all. I just am.
No, you just need to learn. It's okay.
I do need to learn.
Please do not let the headline be like, these are the members of the Vampires and Originals cast who don't like Taylor Swift.
I do like her.
Thank you.
What's your favorite?
As of right now, so long London, but it does change a lot.
Great choice.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Is that it? No more questions? I think that might be the first time.
They've had 3 days and they're done. They're done.
They're like, we don't care.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
We have 3 minutes more. So,
One last question. Look at you, you're saving the day.
I've got some more questions. I'm not letting you go
Your
here.
questions are too hard though.
Hi, my name is Sarah. Not that we haven't been silly already, but can we be a little silly and share embarrassing stories? I'll go first. I once did an interview with spinach in my tooth.
The classic. You think that doesn't actually happen, but it does. I have a plethora of embarrassing stories in my life, like so many. One of my more recent favorite ones would be shadow directing Hightown, an episode. Okay, and when I did, I very much like kind of like dressed the part, and when I mean that, I just wore like really casual clothes and like a hat and kind of just tried to stay in the background and learn. Okay, and one of the actresses that day came up to me and she was like, "You just fit the part really well. Like you look like a director and you look really cool." And I was like, "Stop." She was like, "No, seriously." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." So right after that, we're shooting a massive like outdoor shot, and so the entire crew is outside on this street, and the only bathroom is across this street. And I'm like, "Oh, I gotta pee." I go pee. I then run across very fast the entire giant street, which is the entire crew and cast are all there. I run across. I go into the little room I was sitting, ready to watch the scene, and someone came up to me and said, "Riley, you have toilet paper in your pants." And not only that, it was long like a tail. So like I was running across the street with fucking toilet paper. Just after my actress told me, I say my actress, it wasn't my actress, one of the most beautiful, wonderful actresses told me I was cool. Not cool. Definitely not. That was embarrassing.
You also yelled Al Pacino.
I told you there's a plethora.
That's one of my favorite stories.
I want to tell them one day.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
No, I hate being put on the spot, and I'm like, I've been embarrassed probably every day of my life. But none of them are funny, you know what I mean? It's just like me overthinking things and being like, oh my god, I'm humiliating.
I was on a flight and it was early, and I was like barely awake. I barely slept last night, and I'm on this flight, and I go into the bathroom. I really have to pee. I just sit down, or I hover. We hover, and then I'm looking down. I'm like, why is there?
Can you still hover? I have to put the paper down. I can't hover anymore.
This was years ago, so I was still in my hovering years. So I was like hovering.
Oh my god, I can't do it.
And I look down and I'm like, why is there water on the floor? And then I stand up and the seat cover is down. And so then I have to proceed to, I panic, and then I get like toilet paper and like paper towels, and I'm stuffing it all down the toilet, and then the toilet gets clogged. And so then I just like put the seat back down, and I walk out, and then there was a kid that went in after me, and he was a sweet kid. He probably had no idea it was, and then the flight attendant at one point, I got up to go to the bathroom. He's like, no, don't go in there. The kid that went in after you made a huge mess.
for you.
It was embarrassing for me because I know what I did, but I'm not above throwing a child under the bus.
God. The one that comes to mind is actually don't take any of this and do it, please. I was very drunk the night before on a few vodka Sprites, which already is a bad move. And I woke up the next day. I was staying with my friend in her college dorm, and I was like, she was like, I'm gonna give you the college experience. And I was like, okay. And so we go, and I was very hungover the next day, hadn't eaten anything, and I was sitting in the dining hall, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, the vodka Sprites are not staying
Returning.
Yeah, they are returning, and with a vengeance. And I didn't even make it to the stall because I literally I backed into the stall, I guess I had to take my coat off or something, and literally I'm so sorry. It was projectile vodka Sprite, and it literally I turned around and it sprayed the walls 360 of the entire stall, and there were two girls next to me, both screaming because it literally it was something I felt it would not stop. It was just so much vodka spray, and they were obviously retching. And I was texting my friend who's in the dining hall. I was like, I died here. I can't control myself. I can't let them see that. But eventually I did. I braved it, and alas.
I immediately went to on set embarrassing moments, of which I have a laundry list. But we all were very close. We all got real close. We spent a lot of time together. And I was a little hungover on a Friday, and I went up to one of the actors and leaned my head on his shoulder and bit his shoulder and looked up, and it was his stunt double, who I have never met, ever once in my life. I still close my eyes and about to go to bed, and I'm like, what did I do? It was just, I hadn't met him then. I know him now. It was Jeremy. I don't know. We don't talk about it. We don't really look at each other in the eyes.
Speaking of upset, I just thought of one too that is one of my favorite stories about Danielle Campbell. She works the late night. She had a flight. She had to get somewhere. I don't remember what it was.
A family emergency. She went straight from set to the airport.
There we go. Straight to the airport. She's noticing as she's walking through the airport that everyone's just kind of looking at her, and she's kind of offended. She's stressed. She's upset. She's trying to get home, and she's just feeling everyone's staring at her and looking at her and whatever. Finally, someone comes up to her and is like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yes, I'm okay. What's going on?" She still had the makeup on from the day, which was a carved pentagon or something.
A sigil carved into her forehead. And mind you, Danielle was 18, 19. Yeah. She looked 13. So there's this little girl stressed out trying to get to her gate, looking like she's just fled a cult.
Yeah, so good. And then she's like, "Oh my God, makes sense."
Sorry.
That. But can you imagine how horrifying that would be to see someone going through the airport? Yeah, it looks real.
I'd be okay, I have to help this girl, but who's coming for her?
Yeah.
What scary ass person?
Yes.
I would think that she was possessed. I'd be like, what is this moody little demon doing in this airport?
She just reaches out, by the way, and peels off the prosthetic that's attached to her head.
Not help the situation.
Anyway, that's all we have time for tonight. I do want to say, because this is my last panel of the weekend, first of all, you guys have been amazing. Even those of you who write mean comments about me. I'm used to it. It's okay. It's part of the gig. We are so grateful that you guys keep coming back, and the stories that you tell us, and that you keep watching this thing, and keep giving us a reason to see each other too.
guys really do. See each other. You guys keep these characters alive, which is really amazing. And my favorite part about these is I see so much love and kindness spread, like just between you guys, for everyone, for us. You fill our hearts with joy, of course, but it's a lot of love and kindness. I feel like, hopefully we can do that out in the world because it needs it, and it's just really cool to see. And I love you guys so much, and I'm so appreciative, and I can't wait to just keep coming back. Let's just do this forever.
Yeah, let's just keep doing it.
And I love you guys too. I'm really proud to sit up here with these women.